I want you to imagine something with me. You're at the end of your life, maybe 80, maybe 90 years old, and standing around your bed are the ghosts of everything that you didn't do. Not the things that happened to you, not the circumstances, not the hand you were dealt in life. The things you chose not to do, the conversations you chose not to have, the version of yourself you kept putting off becoming, and the healing you told yourself you'd get to someday. How many ghosts are standing around your bed? That question changed my life. And today I want to talk about why, because I think it might change your life too. There's a proverb you may have heard. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach that same man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. It sounds simple, but I want to go deeper with it today. I think most of us apply it outward, to other people, to our kids, to the men we mentor, and we almost never turn it inward. What if the man that needs to learn to fish is you? What if the thing nobody taught you, that skill that would feed your life for a lifetime, isn't a career skill or a money skill, but something a lot more foundational? The skill of knowing yourself, being honest with yourself, of understanding what you're carrying and where it came from, and then what it's been costing you. Because here's what I've learned from years of working with boys, young men, and grown men, and really from living it myself. Most men were not taught to fish in that way. They were handed what to think, how to act, what to suppress, what to perform. They were given the fish of survival, really, and told that was enough. But survival isn't the same as living. And a man who is only taught to survive will spend his entire life operating from a place that was never truly his own. That is not a character flaw. It's an inheritance, and that's something that can be changed. I grew up watching some men in my life and around me carrying things that they didn't necessarily know that they were carrying at the time. My father is a man who has always loved me, and I've never doubted that. But the thing is, he was never really given the tools to look honestly at his own interior. He was handed down a way of being in the world that required containment. So if there was pain, just get through it. Difficulty meant pushing through, and strength meant not feeling or pushing those things down inside of you. And so he managed, he contained, and when he couldn't contain anymore, it failed in the direction of the people that were closest to him in his life. I absorbed all of that, not from lectures, from atmosphere, from environment, from the ambient way that children absorb the emotional climate of the adults around them, quietly, continuously, really without any formal processing. I had learned that love came with a gap, that presence couldn't be really counted on, that to keep people close, you had to be useful, agreeable, low maintenance. You had to try to prove yourself sometimes, that your feelings were a liability. I carried that into my adult life, into my relationships, into my body, into the ways I showed up and didn't show up for those around me. Here's what nobody told me and what I want to tell you. That inheritance wasn't my fault, but it was my responsibility. My father got that from his father. His father got that from the men that came before him. We're talking generations of men who really loved their families, but they still passed pain forward. And it's not because they were bad men, but because nobody really gave them the fishing rod. Nobody ever sat them down and said, hey, here's how to look at what you're carrying. Here's how to understand where it came from. Here's how to set some of it down so your children don't have to carry it too. I'm saying this to you now because that chain is long. And you could be the one who decides to end it. I wanted to take a brief pause on this video to go ahead and thank you so much for watching. If you're anything like me, you've always had a tough time of really tracking your habits. And so what I went ahead and did was I created what's called the Rebuild Tracker. And what this does is it helps you understand what healthy habits you are actually following, then maybe some of the more, negative habits that you're following. So you can take these and track them, and then you can compare them from month to month to see how you're improving. What this will do is help you to level up and help you become the person that you are wanting to be. There's reflection sections. It's a fillable PDF, so you don't have to print it out. You can if you want, but I make it easy so that you can go ahead and save it on your computer, and then you can track it as you log into your computer or as you use as you'd like. So I will leave the link to the Rebuild Tracker below. It is free. You can go in there, just make sure you fill out $0 and then click I want this, and then that should move you through. It's up to me. This is one of the hardest truths a human can actually internalize. Not because the circumstances that shaped you weren't real, they were. Not because the wounds you carry weren't given to you by someone else, because most of them were. Not because the work ahead of you is easy. It isn't. But because nobody else can do it for you. Your partner can love you. Your friends can support you. Your therapist or your coach can walk beside you. But nobody can look at your interior life for you. Nobody can do the honest reckoning with what you've been carrying on your behalf. Nobody can go back through the patterns, understand where they come from, feel what needs to be felt, and make a different choice going forward. Only you. Now, I know how that lands for some men. It can feel extremely heavy. Like you've just been handed a massive weight instead of a lifeline. But I want you to hear something in that word responsibility that really gets missed when we only hear the weight of it. Response, ability, 2 words, to be able to respond. Not to react from the old pattern, not to keep living out the inherited script, but to respond consciously, honestly, from a place that is actually yours. That ability is in you, and it always has been in you. It's just been buried under decades of adaptation, suppression, and survival. The work is to uncover that, and the real work starts when you decide to. If this is landing for you and you're sitting there thinking, man, this is what I needed to hear, please hit that subscribe button. I'd love to continue this channel. The more people that subscribe, the more I can grow, the more content I can give you. And it'd be really appreciated to me because I'm doing this out of purpose and out of passion to just help whoever I can. So hit that subscribe button. This is what I do every single week. Content built for men who are ready to really stop running from themselves and start building something real. And if you know a man who needs to hear this, send it back to them. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do for somebody is really put the right thing in front of them at the right time. So you may be asking yourself, what does it mean to finally learn to fish? It starts with one honest question, not complicated, not one that requires a therapist or a retreat or really years of work before it can be answered. Just this. What have I been doing on the outside that I'm not willing to look on the inside? Maybe it's the way you act when you feel criticized. Maybe it's the emotional distance you keep from the people you love the most. Maybe it's the thing you reach for at the end of the day to stop the loud noise. Maybe it's the voice in the back of your head that is always saying you're never quite enough, no matter how much you accomplish. Whatever it is, you know what it is. Some part of you has always known. The work is not to immediately fix it. The work is to finally look at it honestly, to stop managing the presentation of your interior and start actually living from it. Because when you do, and believe me, I have seen this happen in men's lives. I've experienced it myself. There is a shift. Your body starts to feel different. Your relationships start to feel different. The way you show up for your kids starts to feel different. The quality of your presence in the world starts to feel different. Not because you became somebody else, but because you finally became yourself. That, my friends, is the fish. That is the lifetime of nourishment that nobody can give you and nobody can take from you. Go learn how to fish. Now, I want to come back to those ghosts at the bedside. You still have time right now in this lifetime. You have a time to make different choices. You can become the link in the chain that chose differently. This is an opportunity to teach yourself what you were never taught and then pass something worth inheriting forward. That is what I'm here for. And if this video hit something real for you, it's gonna go even deeper. I'm Ty Rising. It's been a pleasure. If it's to be, it's up to you. I'll see you in the next one.